Hey, welcome back to another unboxing video. Today we're doing sort of a New Year's special. I don't really have anything that's going to fit the theme, but what I do have is 4 scale figures. So let's just have like a scale figure extravaganza. Now, this first one technically is sort of a scale figure. It's a Pop-Up Parade large. They're essentially 7th scale figures, 6th scale figures. I have a couple more of these to open, but this one, the other two go together. This one is just solo. I don't have any other Goblin Slayer stuff, and I'm probably not going to for a while. I don't think any of the other figures that I have on order are going to be released for a bit here. This is going to be our first large Pop-Up Parade. They also do make XLs, which I think are crazy. They still charge like $230 for them, and they're essentially quarter scale figures. I'm not sure why they included that in the Pop-Up Parade line. But this is definitely a 7th scale figure. I can already tell this is the same size as the 7th scale figure that I opened a while back. I think it's Fat Company. If I remember, maybe I'll put a link to that one. I need to start utilizing like cards and stuff, so maybe I'll throw a card up or something, if I remember. I don't know, can I do that on mobile? I think I need to do that on my computer. I do everything on mobile nowadays. I don't even know how YouTube works anymore. I just film stuff on my camera and upload it directly from there. And they probably changed a lot of stuff on PC since the last time I actually logged into my account. Anytime I watch something on PC, I just don't even bother. Because it's so rare that I actually do. She definitely has a lot of plastic on her. It looks like her staff has some tape on it. So let's get her on her base. First of all, I would like to say that this, even though this is like a 1/7 scale figure, this is still smaller than the typical hexagonal Pop-Up Parade base, which is nuts. They're definitely doing a good job of improving how much space their bases take up. Oh yeah, look at that. Her skirt actually goes further out than the base, so you can really just cram this figure in wherever it fits, and you don't gotta worry about that stupid base getting in the way. Now they did tape down the staff here. Carefully cut this tape. Get this out. There. Bottom. And the top. So this is great because the I think it was the Fat Company scale figure that I opened did not have her staff. So I'm very happy that this figure actually has her staff. I think it goes in the other hand. Let me look at the box. How do they have her set up? It goes behind her. Okay. It goes in her hand behind her, like this. Where's the spot? Yeah, I have to go kind of behind her hair and then into her hand, which is a little bit awkward to line this up through the hair. I should be able to manage it. I think I got it. Yep, got it in her hand. And then this part should be angled, looks like about there. I think it only goes on one way, right? Yeah. If you want to slip on. My angle is terrible when I'm trying to film at the same time. It goes the other way. There we go. Okay. And there's her with her staff. This is fantastic. These large Pop-Up Parades are so worth the money. Like, anybody who doesn't like the regular Pop-Up Parades, try out the large. I've got 2 more coming in another video. We got 2 Konosuba ones. I've got Aqua and Megumin coming, but this is a great start. This is just a 7th scale figure, and I think this is only like $70, $80, which is less than what you pay for a 7th scale figure nowadays for the most part. So that is awesome, and that is just the beginning of our extravaganza because the rest of these are true 7th scales. So we'll start with the smallest one. This is Koto Bukiya Bishojo. This is essentially Waifu Spock. They say Vulcan Science Officer, but I mean, it's Waifu Spock. Had to get it, just like with the Transformers. good meme. I wish I liked the horror Bishoujo's better. I want them to do Sadako. Sadako was announced, but we haven't even seen a prototype for her yet, and I have a feeling that they could do a really good job with her and maybe the Grudge Girl, whose name I always forget. Kitako or something? I don't know. I don't even want to attempt it. But so far, I like the idea of the horror Bishoujos, but the only one that I've seen that's out that I like, I think, is maybe the Hellraiser one. Waifu Pinhead is alright. The rest of them are kind of eh. It's more just looks like girls cosplaying as the character rather than, like, it's supposed to be the character. Which, to be fair, that's kind of hard to not make it look like that. But I just didn't really get the horror feel from most of them. I want them to feel at least a little bit creepy or like yandere-y or something. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Just unfortunate that I don't really like them because I love the concept and I wish I liked them because I would buy all of them. I am still going to try to track down the Hellraiser one at some point, but that one is expensive, and I don't want to pay too much for it, because I don't know. I'm not that into it. It's good enough. But this one I was able to get brand new, so I don't have to worry about aftermarket prices, and I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but, I mean, come on. Waifu Spock? She's great. This is just a fantastic figure. I think they did do Uhura, I don't know how to pronounce her name properly. I didn't really like the way that one turned out. Sometimes, honestly, just Japanese versions of darker skinned characters in general, they just don't really seem to do it right, in my opinion. I think it's more difficult for them, especially with like the anime style. Would you focus? There we go. I think they're just not particularly good at doing darker skin for the most part. I've seen a few really good ones. I think there's like a King Tut. Man, my focus just will not cooperate with me. Oh yeah, it's just going nuts. I really need a new setup here. I'm filming on my phone and it's kind of beat up at this point. I think the camera is actually starting to have issues. But in any case, that's your Vulcan Science Officer Waifu Spock Kotobukiya Bishoujo. Highly recommend this one. She's going to go with the Transformers back there, which this whole display is still a work in progress. I just haven't finished working on it because I've had a lot of issues. That's going to be totally redone, so, and it needs more lighting. But wherever the Transformers end up, she's going to be with them. And any other Bishoujo figures that I get, because they're not going to fit in with the rest of my collections. Now this one just showed up today. I was not expecting it. I didn't get like any notification, but this is the Hoshino Ai scale from Kadokawa, from Oshinoko, and I'm very excited to see what this one is like because I have so many Oshinoko figures on order, so many. I can't even think on the top of my head. It's got to be over 10. It's got to be maybe almost 20 Oshinoko figures that I have on order, and none of them have showed up. This is the first Oshinoko figure that's actually showed up. So, very, very excited about this. And I think there's 2 others in this series that already went up for pre-order. I think there's a Ruby and a Kana. I'm really hoping they do Memcho. Memcho is the best character. And we really need more Memcho. I've been trying to avoid too many Ai figures because obviously if you've seen Oshinoko, I mean, come on. How much am I really supposed to care about this character, right? Right, guys? Like, I get that she's important and she's kind of the face of the series, but at the same time, am I supposed to get... Spoiler warning. She gets stabbed technically in the first episode, even though the first episode is like a movie. She gets stabbed. She dead. First episode, she dead. The show isn't really about her. Like, it's about things to do with her, but it's not about her. So I'm trying to focus more on Ruby, Kana, and Memcho, because they're actually the main females. I know there's a lot of people out there that simp for Akane. I'm not too big of a fan. I think maybe I believe she's the one who... Man, this thing is hard to open. I believe she's the one who does, like, the perfect eye impression, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the series, in Season 2, if she starts being a really convincing clone of Ai, essentially. And that may mean that all of these Ai figures technically could also be Kana, or Akane figures. That I don't know, but for now, not a huge fan of her. Focusing on the other females in the show. Now, let's see what this is like. I mean, the figures that I've gotten from Kadokawa, like just from their Katie collection manufacturing company, whatever it is, they've always been absolute bangers. I haven't seen a single figure from them yet that has caused me issues. What I'm trying to do right now, by the way, is carefully remove this piece of hair so I can get this piece of plastic off. But I'm being very, very careful about it because I don't want to break it. Oh, there's a sign of quality right there. I'm not sure if I can get this to show up on camera, but this is pinned. That peg is pre-pinned, so it won't snap on you. So I didn't actually need to be that careful. Thank you, Kadokawa, for pre-pinning your figures. I wish every company would do that. Wow, okay, so let me get this off her face. She did actually come with a bonus faceplate. Just need to get her hair back on, and I'll show her here on camera in a second. Okay. So there she is. They did a really nice job between the matte and glossy parts of the figure. I'm not sure how well it comes out on camera, but it's really apparent in real life how glossy the material on the boots and the gloves and her hair ribbon there are. Like, they really stand out, especially the boots. I'm not sure if you can see the way that it's catching the light, but they are glossy as hell. So that's always nice when they're able to actually make things look like the material they're supposed to be made out of. Now, obviously, she's got this base. I like the way that they did the bases on these. They're not fancy, but they do have an aesthetic to them. They look like gemstones, sort of. So it is just plastic, nothing fancy about it. But the way that it's painted and how glossy it is and everything, it actually kind of makes it look like it is crystalline, which is cool. Let's get her foot in the peg here carefully. This is metal, by the way. Should show that. Metal pegs. I don't think that focused, but you get the point. There we go. Now I can put her down. She did come with a microphone, and I'll show off the extra faceplate, which I am going to want to switch her to, but not necessarily on video, because sometimes it is a bit of a struggle to remove the hair and the faceplate on these. I'll give it a shot and see how difficult it is. Here's the little microphone. It's a more realistic style microphone. It's not like the big sphere kind that you usually get. My focus is just, man, this is a problem. I gotta figure out what's going on here before my next video, but it's, in my opinion, a more realistic microphone. A lot of anime microphones that I've seen come with Nendoroids are usually the sphere type, which you actually don't see in real life. This is the kind of microphone you see in real life. Where did that faceplate go? Here it is. I thought that they might not have sent it to me because usually when you order stuff through Good Smile, the bonuses are just loose in the box. But this one, since this bonus actually comes directly from Kadokawa, they actually just open up the bottom of the box and tape it to the inside. Which, you can probably hear, is quite a strong piece of tape. That was irritating. I'll clear this off the table, because we do have one more figure after this. Okay, so bonus faceplate is essentially the exact same face, but with both of her eyes open. And I like that because this series obviously has this whole thing with the stars in her eyes, her star pupils being important. And I like that aspect of the character design, and so I'd like both of her eyes to be open. So you can see one's winking, and both of them are open, otherwise identical. But I prefer being able to see both of the stars, because I like that aspect of the character design. Here we go. Let's see. Waifu Spock can be here. Actually, we'll do this. And then we'll put this one behind because I need a lot of room on this table for the next figure, or at least the next box. Not sure how much space the figure is actually going to take up, but the next box is huge. Oh, yeah, let's give her a microphone. Totally forgot about that. There we go. So for our last figure, get this box. Ugh. This is Saya, I believe her name is, from Elena. So this is the her friend riding on the broom. I did not realize that this figure was going to be this large. I've noticed this is a problem between scaling with certain companies, is they'll list certain things at 1/8, 1/7, 1/6, then you get the figure and you realize it's like a scale up or a scale down from what they said. Scale down, I don't really mind. Smaller, smaller is always better. So if I buy a 1/7 and it turns out to be a 1/8, I'm happy. But this is a case where this is advertised as a 1/7 and I'm pretty sure it's a 1/6. And it's way bigger than I expected it to be. Which, obviously, partially my fault for not checking the specs, but, don't advertise a 1/7 as a 1/6 as a 1/7. Because when I see 1/7 scale, I'm expecting something. And this is way bigger than what I was expecting. Wow, she's massive. Is there something else in here? Just the instructions? Okay. Let's get the tape off of this. I'm hoping she won't end up taking up too much room in terms of I can just kind of put stuff around her. Like she's got this really big base, but because she's flying, she's not actually going to be directly on it. So I can just put small figures on top of the base and do some Nendoroids or whatever. So I might be able to still make her work. Is that all the tape? One more piece? I think that's all the tape. But the other issue is that there is a version of this figure of Elena from the same company, I believe, that's the same size. And then there's a prize figure of Elena riding a broom that looks almost identical. And so I figure, hey, oh my god, this thing, I'm going to have to do this off the table because these are the strongest snaps I've ever encountered in my life. Oh my god. So I figure, hey, why pay, so much money for the scale? I'm worried that I'm going to, snap her broom handle while doing this. When I could just get the prize figure that looks identical to the scale. But now I'm realizing that the prize figure is going to be way smaller than the scale. Which I know tends to be the case sometimes, but looking at pictures side by side, they look like they should be about the same size. So I'm just going to have to hope that the prize figure is big. It's a really big prize figure. This is the hardest packaging to get off I've ever experienced. This is worse than freeing bunnies. Oh my god. Why is it so hard to open this carefully? Man, there's little pieces of hidden tape also. Jesus Christ. One more and I should be able to get it off. Now there's some in the middle too. I get secure packaging is nice and all, but man, make it so I can open it. I'm gonna move the base out of the way to get to these middle snaps. Whoa! That's what I'm trying to avoid because the packaging, the broom handle actually goes through this hole, and so I'm trying not to yank it up as I'm pulling because it's gonna snap the broom handle. Come on, guys, do some better packaging, please. Who made this? Who did this to me? FNEX. Other FNEX packaging has not been like that, so I don't know what the hell's going on with this figure. Looks like she's got 2 support rods that I'm going to get out because I'm going to need them to get her on her base. These are taped in. Give me a second. I don't have nails. There. Always appreciate metal support rods, metal pinning, anything metal. Okay. So there's those. Let's get the base out. Very plain base. Nice and frosted though, which I like. It's not super glossy. Got enough reflections going on in my display without a glossy base. So one thing I wish Freeing would do is at least make those plain black bases they have on the bunnies frosted or matte. Here's the big old witch hat, which I love. That's like one of my favorite things about Elena is these massive hats. She is covered in plastic, so give me a second to get this off. She's also got some of that foam papery stuff around certain spots. This one on her foot actually has tape I'm going to have to cut. There we go. Put all this to the side. I mean, aside from the unboxing experience, this is a really, really nice figure. I'm going to carefully cut this because it's taped around her leg and I can't slide it off. I don't want to cut the figure. Could you guys not do this in the future, please, so that I don't almost risk cutting the figure? There we go. Okay, is there anything left that I need to get? Nope. Alright, let's take a look at this figure. I love the detail on the pins, brooches, whatever they are, on her uniform here. And it might be hard to tell on camera, but it is a pretty metallic gold, and then there are actually like translucent ruby pieces down there. Can I not knock my stand? Broom handle's got a little bit of like a swirl on the top, and then it's got, let's see if I can get this without a shadow. It's got kind of a wrapping around it, which is nice. Like a little broom cape. It feels quality. Let's see about these support rods. Looks like they go on the underside of the broom. And it looks like they're just entirely cylindrical, so there isn't like a proper way to put them in. They just line up. So they come out of the bottom of the broom. And then one of her feet here has a peg. So we just gotta line all this up at the same time and push down. And we should be good. Should be, keyword, because I seem to be struggling a bit. I think these rods may be slightly different lengths. Let me try swapping them. I'm thinking they're just not going into the base very well. Let's see. Push them into the... It's hurting my hand, man. Ow. Alright. Let's try it this way. Line her up. Line this one up too, please. Okay, I must be doing something wrong here. Let me see what's going on with this. Does not seem to want to line up the way that you would expect it to here. Let's see what the problem is. So I don't want to break this figure. Ah, there we go. Okay, just had to force it, which I always hate doing. But just like with opening the packaging, you also really got to force her onto her base. And I can finally, it looks like they got hair grooves. So this should be able to find a spot where it sits. And that does seem pretty secure. Yep, that's not going to fall off easily. So they did a good job on the hat adherence. And yeah, should be able to put like an Nendoroid here, put another base on top or something, so should be able to make it work even with the huge base. I would prefer it if it wasn't so big, but what are you going to do? At least it's frosted. You can see... You know what? I take it back. I thought she, looking at the packaging, I thought she was closer to a 1/6, but comparing her to the other 1/7, she does actually seem to be a 1/7. She's just big because of the broom and the hat. And the box was obnoxious. Boy, that is bouncy. But great figure. You did a good job, FNX. Just chill out on the packaging, please. So that is going to be all I have for today, although I do have the next video after this is going to be another set of 4 scales. They're all going to be Toho scales. I actually have 4 Toho scale figures to open after this. But this is our New Year's special, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are subscribed already. If not, please hit the button. Please like the video, comment, all that good stuff, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. That's all for now. Bye!